In this chapter, we'll go with the next topic, that is transportation. The warehousing is a place where bulk goods are stored. Warehouse also come, transportation, postal, banking, all those will come in the tertiary. Private warehouses are operated, owned or leased by a company. Public warehouse can be used for storage of goods by traders. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Business Studies in Vidyashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. In this chapter, we'll go with the next topic, that is transportation. And transportation is a very important concept. You need to know this comes under auxiliary to trade. Auxiliary to trade. That means it is giving what? It gives a support to trade. It is also a part of tertiary industry, where tertiary industry gives a helping hand to the primary industry and the secondary industry. So transportation comprises freight services. So whatever the freight services happens, that is all done by the transportation services. And together with supporting the auxiliary services by all modes of transportation. See, from a factory to the consumer, what happens is transportation is a must. Transportation is a must. And their services are considered to be very important for the business, since speed of the essence in any business is the transaction. That is what it is for any business. Transportation is needed from one place to another. It can be a raw material distribution, it can be a finished goods distribution, it can be anything. Transportation is very, very important. Now transportation, if you go with it, you have all the modes of transportation, that is you can actually go for it. But suitably, what happens is, if you go with the cheapest way, then you will get more profit because you will save some cost. But usually what happens is, speed is something which everybody intend to do. If it is very costly, you actually go with the aeroplane. If it is a cheaper one, if you go with cargos, or if it is like a very near to near, if it is there, then you go with truck or railways or any of the other modes. But internationally, if you go with import export, usually what happens is this cargos are there, right? Now cargo, the freight charges, you need to understand. You go more with the ship and the dock. Next is warehousing. So transportation is done. Last session we understood postal service. What is this warehousing? Now whenever a factory produces something, right? Factory or industry produces something, they are supposed to sell it to the consumer or the customer. But usually what happens is, whatever is produced, that will not be bought by the customer. So the purchases will be less, the production will be more, purchases will be less. So the remaining amount is there that we need to store, and the place where we store is called warehousing. The place where we store is called warehousing. So the warehousing is a place where bulk goods are stored, and that too what you are supposed to take care of those goods, and then you are supposed to go. The typical warehouse received merchandise. So understand, all this merchandise will be where? In the warehouse. By rail, truck or bullock cart. See, gone are the days when bullock carts are used, but bullock carts are also used in the villages where roads are not proper. Understand these differences. In India, we have too many villages than cities. Next is, the item were moved manually to a storage within the warehouse and hand piled its sacks on the floor. That is, whatever happens is, they'll actually store it. And that too what? When they store it, and what will happen is, it's like the items were moved manually to a storage within the warehouse and hand piled in stack on the floor. That means what happens is, everything will be piled. Everything will be piled. Types of warehousing. You need to understand warehousing properly. Before that, you need to know what exactly it is. Here, understand, you have business activity. right? Now it is divided into two. One is we call it as industry. What is it? Industry. One we call it as industry, the other we call it as commerce, right? In industries we have three: primary, secondary, tertiary. Now in tertiary only it's all about the warehouse also come, transportation, postal, banking, all those will come in the tertiary. Now understand commerce. In commerce you have two things. One we call it as trade, another is called as auxiliary to trade. Now this auxiliary to trade, again what happens? This warehouse comes. So understand, warehouse is a place where service is rendered. There is nothing called production will happen. It is only the service, that is storing the merchandise will happen. These are the types of warehouse. The first one is private warehouse, public warehouse, bonded warehouse, government warehouse. And the last one is cooperative warehouse. The minute you hear cooperative, it is done by people who are in the cooperative society. That's why it is called cooperative warehouse. Private warehouse, individually people are there. Public warehouse, there are many people who are there. Bonded warehouse, some agreement will happen between them. Government warehouse, 100% it is managed by the government. So we'll go one by one what exactly the warehouses are all about. First thing is private warehouse. What is this private warehouse? Private warehouse are operated, owned or leased by a company. Who will actually do it? By a company handling their own goods, such as they have their own, that is, see, example, you have Wipro, Western Indian product. Wipro is all about what? Western Indian product. Now this Western Indian product, what usually happens here is they have their own warehouse, so we call it as private warehouses. Now they manufacture so many kind of products, so they need to have a place where those commodities, those merchandise should actually be there, and they own it. That's why it is called private warehouse. And what happens is they have their own retail chain store or multi-branded or multi-product company. So usually what happens, they go for these private warehouses. Next is public warehouses. Public warehouses, what happens? There are too many people involved. Public warehouse can be used for storage of goods by traders, manufacturers. Now, who can actually have it? One is traders, another is manufacturers, or any member of the public after the payment of storage fee or charges. That means what happens is they'll give them a place where they can actually have their merchandise there, and they are the one who will actually protect all these things. They'll take insurance and they'll actually take the risk of whatever happens. And in that, what happens is the people whoever are placing their goods, they are supposed to give what? That is the storage fee or the charges. And what happens is they'll have a date, that is from this day to the departure day. Till then, what happens is the warehouse need to actually keep it properly, safely. And there are few companies who are only for the warehouse, that is, they are very good with handling the other commodities, merchandise and all the goods, and they provide services such that everybody feels that that is the safest way. Just like you have a banking where your money is kept, the way warehouse there, what happens is the goods are kept and somebody will actually guard them. And what is that you are supposed to give them? You are supposed to give them the storage fee or charges. Next we have bonded warehouse. There is a kind of bond. What exactly the bond is? The bond is all about bondage warehouse are licensed by government. Who will actually give the license? The government will give the license to accept imported goods. Understand, the bonded is all about what? Imported goods. Imported goods. Prior to payment of the tax and custom duty, before the custom duty only it is paid or the tax is paid, they'll actually have the imported goods. These are goods which are imported from other countries. So that means specially it is actually there for any of the import export things will happen, where before the custom duty or the tax is actually levied to them, they will actually dump their goods to these places. We call them as the bonded warehouse, and this bonded warehouse is what licensed by the government. Until the government will not license, you cannot have a bonded warehousing. So you need to have a difference between private warehousing. Private warehousing, what happens is the company is there and the company will only take care of their own products and they have their own warehouse. We call it as private warehouse. Then we have public warehouse where anybody, a trader can be there, manufacturer can be there, or a company itself, that is a warehousing company itself can be there, where they are giving a chance to other companies who cannot have a warehouse to come and dump their product in that warehouse, and they have dates, that is when it will come, when it will go. All these things will happen. You have a first in first out, last in first out, all those concept is there which will happen, and whatever happens in the warehouse, they are supposed to take the risk. In return, what is that they get is they have placed the changes, that is the charges they have charged, we call it as fees, or the storage charges, they'll get it. The next one is the bonded warehouse, that is prior to the tax or the custom duty, the imported goods are being placed in these kind of bonded warehouse. And bonded warehouse is especially what you are supposed to know, that they are supposed to get license from the government, that is the host country government, they are supposed to take the license. Next we have government warehouse. Now government, the minute government says is what? Everything happens with the permission of government. So these warehouses are fully owned. They are what? Fully owned by the government. That is, they are managed by the government as well as they are fully owned by the government. The government manages them through organization set up in the public sector. So what happens is these will come in the public sector. Now you have the public sector, you have three things. One is departmental undertaking, then you have something called government companies, and then the last one here you will have something called the statutory corporations, right? So government warehouses come to the public sector. That means it is fully owned. It is not even partial. It is what? Fully owned. That means 100% it is owned by whom? The government. And what is that they do is they'll actually have so many goods, commodities, and whenever there is a shortage, they actually take it from there and they give it to the public. So these are the types of warehouses we can go with. The first one being private warehouse, then it is the public warehouse. The third thing is bonded warehouse, and then we have something called government warehouses. And let's have the last one, that is cooperative warehouse. Cooperative warehouses are actually done by whom? Cooperative society. Cooperative society. Now you have learned about cooperative society. That is where the cooperative society will actually help them to also store. So you have something called producer cooperative society, consumer cooperative society, agricultural cooperative society. Now these are the people who will actually go for it. So what is it? Some marketing cooperative society or agricultural cooperative societies have set up their own warehouse for members. Whom? For these members, whoever are the members are there, right? Now they will set up. So these were the members who will go and they'll store their things. And why storing will happen? You know that all the consumers will not buy whatever they have produced. So they are supposed to have a warehouse, and they are supposed to secure their goods and commodities. And one more thing I'll tell you, many of them, what happens is just to go with demand and supply. Demand and supply, they'll actually keep the goods in the warehouse. Though it is a black market, but they're not supposed to do. What happens is demand is there, supply will be less. Supply is there, demand will be less. If supply is more, money is very less, right? If demand is more, money is very expensive. So understand what it is. Onions. Farmers are producing onions, but these warehouses are keeping the onions to themselves. They're not giving it to the public. Automatically demand for onions will be more. After once the demand is more, now the warehouse people, they'll actually clear all the stocks. Now what happens is 20 rupees was the onion kg. Now it is 45 rupees. All because of what? Demand and supply as well as this warehousing. So understand the warehousing concept very, very properly. Functions of warehousing. So what is that functions the warehousing will do? The first one is consolidation, that is he will collect everything, right? Then break the bulk. Now there are so many things, they'll actually start breaking everything and they'll go with departmentalization, that is where those kind of a thing should be there, where the goods should be there, and then they'll go and they'll separate all the goods. Next is stockpiling. They'll start collecting more and more goods, that is piling, in the sense it will be like a mountain kind piling. Next, value added services. What is it? They need to protect it from the rats, they need to protect it from so many temperature, they're supposed to protect it from the safeguard, because there are perishable goods as well as unperishable goods or non-perishable goods. Next is price stabilization. I told you about demand and supply, all these things are the price stabilizing. Then is what? Financing. There are few warehouses also, they go with financing. They'll give money to the people who are in need, and then in return what happens is they collect it later with interest. So these are the functions of warehousing. Hope you have understood the topic about the warehousing, transportation. This is what here we are for you, and until then I'll see you when I see you. Thank you so much.